Officer Chen, please report to Commander Reeves regarding case file SYN-7721. Missing sentient companion droid.
Pull up the latest on the John Doe case.
The man appears to be about 40 to 45 years old and looks British. He is 180 centimeters tall, has brown eyes and reddish hair with a slight grey at the temples. His face is clean shaven. At the time of discovery, the body was lying on its back, facing upward. He was dressed in a white shirt, a red and blue tie, brown trousers, socks and shoes. Although it is summer in Boston, a brown knitted sweater and a wool jacket were found nearby. An unwrapped nicotine patch was discovered on the lapel of the jacket. All labels on the clothing had been cut off. There were no personal belongings, and a rolled up piece of natural paper containing the strange inscription, "Laughing in the Mechanism," was found in a secret pocket on the trousers. The digital ID of this person has not yet been established. This is the first case in the last 20 years.
Bloody hell, not this again.
Digital ID is not a fantasy from the distant future. It's something rapidly evolving today. And it's not just about digitized documents. Digital ID is a bridge connecting the digital and physical worlds. Welcome to Sumsub. Today, we'll try to take a glimpse into the future and imagine what an ideal digital identity system might look like 50 years from now. What principles will it be built on? How will it withstand the alarming rise of quantum computing? And where is the line between reasonable anonymity and digital transparency? This video was created by Sumsub, the verification platform. We make the digital world people-friendly yet secure. For centuries, identity verification relied on physical objects. Among the nobility, these were heirloom items. A signet ring, for example, could not only signify noble lineage, but also serve as a remote identity authenticator. To verify their identity, one could seal a letter with hot wax and press the ring into it. Such impressions were extremely difficult to forge. Moreover, the wax seal would break when opened, providing evidence that the letter hadn't been tampered with. Thus, a wax seal served both as authentication and integrity verification. Even today, the practice of placing a unique mark on important documents remains relevant, used by both the King of the United Kingdom and a large part of South Korea's population. Births, marriages, and deaths were recorded in church registers. Line by line, they documented the stories of generations. Of course, records varied from parish to parish and were prone to loss or destruction. As early as the 16th century, civil authorities began taking over this responsibility. First in England, then France, then eventually across Western Europe, converting church records into official civil registers. Gradually, a system of paper-based identity verification emerged. Initially, these were letters of recommendation. The author of the letter served as a guarantor, vouching for the bearer's identity with their authority and signature. Later, the state assumed this role. A modern passport, in essence, is a confirmation of your identity issued by a sovereign state. Yet even before computers, key issues in identity verification remained unresolved. Physical proof of identity, whether a passport or a signet ring, could be lost, stolen, or counterfeited with sufficient time and resources.
And in the case of the unknown man from Vincent Beach, more and more mysteries are emerging. Forensic experts claim this man may never have walked the earth. His clothes show no traces of dust, dirt, or even plant pollen. There are no signs of wear, despite being made from luxurious natural cotton rather than synthetic fabric. Where these clothes came from is another enigma. They appear to be handmade. No labels, tags, or embedded chips. Most astonishingly, the deceased had no digital devices, not even a smartwatch. His watch was mechanical. This had strengthened the theory that the unknown man belongs to a new religious cult. Supporting this is a scrap of old-fashioned paper found in his pocket, bearing the words, "Laughing in the Mechanism."
It spans the globe like a superhighway. It is called Internet.
In the early days, the internet was a wild frontier of complete freedom. No content oversight, no government gateways, no filtering systems. You could find anything, from detailed drug synthesis instructions to guides on making explosives or toxic gases. Take the Anarchist Cookbook, written by William Powell in 1971. Before the internet, it was periodically printed and then confiscated by intelligence services. In 1989, it surfaced online under the title The Jolly Roger Cookbook and began spreading across websites. Anyone with a modem could access it. Anarchist enthusiasts translated and modified it, adding new methods and corrections. Authorities tried to delete it, but to this day, encrypted copies exist on file-sharing platforms. Today, not even the dark web contains such a trove of dangerous information. Back then, security was rudimentary. The only widespread security measure was using a fake username and password. And those passwords were often simple. Love, God, or 1111 could unlock entire systems. In 1988, Robert Morris exploited this human laziness by launching the first password attack in history. His worm attempted to access user accounts by brute forcing a list of just 400 common words. First names, superheroes, sports, animals. Nothing complex, just lowercase letters. The Morris worm compromised 47,000 computers worldwide, paralyzing networks and causing $98 million in damages. Those were the good old days, until money came into play. No, not the police or the FBI. Worse, capitalism arrived. User interest became a commodity. The first internet ads, launched in 1994, were simple banner ads shown to every site visitor. But in 1997, GoTo revolutionized online advertising by targeting ads based on search queries. Pandora's box was open. To improve ad targeting, platforms needed to know what interested you. Major search engines joined the race. In 2003, Google launched AdSense, enabling personalized ads based on user behavior. Google knew more about you than you knew about yourself. Identification now relied on digital fingerprints, a combination of dozens of unique system characteristics like your device, operating system, and browser, as unique as a fingerprint. At the same time, more services began requiring real identity verification. One of the most common methods became credit card verification. Even a symbolic charge of a few cents could verify your identity. If you know the cardholder's name, number, and CVV code, chances are you are the owner. But stealing card data is far easier than stealing a signet ring. Just glance at the back of the card. Social networks took de-anonymization further. In the early 2010s, Facebook, Twitter, and Google enabled third-party login via social media profiles. A social profile effectively became a digital ID. Convenient? Yes. No need to remember dozens of passwords, but extremely insecure. To hijack your digital life, a hacker now only needed one password. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, emerged to address this issue. To gain access, you must present two of three unique factors: knowledge, possession, or an inherent trait. Knowledge is the easiest. A password, PIN, or passphrase, something only you know. Possession means owning a specific item: your registered phone, trusted device, or a hardware token. Once again, a modern descendant of the heirloom signet ring. Finally, inherent traits refer to biometrics. In the pre-digital era, this meant a signature or photograph. But these were easier to forge than we'd like to admit. In the digital age, biometrics rapidly became standard. Face recognition, or Face ID, fingerprint scanners, they became ubiquitous in smartphones within a few years. Social media companies also amassed massive datasets tied to real individuals, from friend lists and communication stats to shopping histories across continents. Detectives build crime cases by mapping suspects and their networks. Social platforms already do this automatically. Even if you're drunk and thinking of texting your ex, Facebook knows. And depending on advertiser greed, you might be prompted to buy antacids or send flowers. You can't just disappear or erase your data. Anything created digitally has likely been copied many times over. Even attempts to delete or suppress information often backfire. In April 2013, France's Directorate of Internal Intelligence tried to remove a Wikipedia article about the military radio station in Pierre-sur-Haute. Editors deleted it under legal threat, but users kept restoring it. Eventually, it became one of the most visited French-language articles on Wikipedia. Sometimes, information spreads despite its creators. In 1992, cyberpunk legend William Gibson released the poem Agrippa, a Book of the Dead, on 3.5-inch floppy disks, designed to be read once. But the poem was transcribed from a live reading, and bit-by-bit disk images appeared online. Hackers cracked both the encryption and the text. Today, Agrippa is 2 clicks away. If casual users are this devoted to preserving information, do you think tech giants will let you delete your digital footprint that easily? Even if they wanted to, it's virtually impossible. Don't believe it? Check out The Wayback Machine, a non-profit project archiving internet websites. Want to see your favorite sites from 10 or 15 years ago? Just type in the URL and time travel. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are data broker sites like Spokio, Radaris, or White Pages, which, for $20 to $30, will give you everything ever published about a person, even if it was later deleted.
The laughing man from the beach continues to baffle investigators. Authorities are confident that he did not cross the national border. His fingerprints are not found in the US immigration database. Another attempt to identify him yielded a surprising result. Detective Strangeway circulated scans of the man's dental records and retinal images to clinics across the US and Canada. As it turns out, this individual had been a regular patient at a Toronto dental clinic. According to their records, his name was Robert Walsh. But Social Security records indicate that Robert Walsh died 15 years ago, during the feline flu pandemic. He wasn't even 3 years old at the time of death. Is this a failure in the medical record system, or the first successful case of identity forgery in 3 decades? If the latter, the implications are staggering. The entire global economy could be at risk. Payment systems, smart contracts, land registries, everything without a physical counterpart could be compromised. We continue to follow the investigation that's now dominating news headlines.
With the rise of unified login systems, major tech corporations effectively assumed the roles of governments, creating digital equivalents of passports. Naturally, this led to the challenge of combating fake identities. Just 15 years ago, anyone could easily create a fake digital persona, of any gender, age, and background, much like in role-playing games. Alternatively, you could simply steal another person's account credentials or buy someone else's digital identity. This is why using a Google or Facebook profile to verify identity for high-stakes transactions is a bad idea. Another way to reliably confirm someone's identity is to transfer physical documents into the digital realm. But it's not enough to just scan or photograph a passport or driver's license. To verify identity from documents, 3 steps are required. Extract the data, confirm its authenticity, and verify that it belongs to the person presenting it. Such a system must replicate the function of a bank clerk, someone who checks your ID and signature before approving a transaction. You've probably encountered such systems when renting a car, using car-sharing services, or applying for a loan via a banking app. The emergence of secure and reliable digital identity verification methods has, for the first time in history, truly connected the physical and digital worlds. Now we can instantly access a range of services, from digital TV subscriptions to global yacht rentals. Businesses are better protected, as robust identity verification significantly reduces the risk of document theft or forgery. Biometric authentication and two-factor verification have simplified life for everyone. Password notes are now just punchlines in jokes. That's where Sumsub ID comes in. A reusable digital identity that works across any service using Sumsub for verification. Instead of re-uploading your passport or driver's license every time, you verify once and use that same trusted profile again and again. We've seen that 1 in 3 users have already verified with Sumsub on another platform. So why go through the same process again? It's simple. Log in, choose your documents, pass a quick liveness check, and you're good to go. Your data stays secure and is only shared with your consent. To learn more, follow the link in the comments. And now, let's get back to our topic. However, issuing identity verifying documents is like printing money. No government willingly relinquishes this privilege. That's why countries began rolling out their own national digital identity systems. Paper documents were replaced by official digital IDs. The pioneer was the world's most populous country, India. By 2020, its national UIDAI identity system included all 1.3 billion residents. The system was ambitious, not only storing names, birth dates, addresses, and marital status, but also biometric data, phone numbers, and bank account information. The system's identification numbers, Aadhaar, are used for everything, from voter registration and SIM card purchases to government access control and payment processing.
अरे नेट बैंकिंग हो ना हो डोंट वरी, इससे इनकम टैक्स वेरिफिकेशन भी हो जाता है आसानी से.
However, the first data breach happened before the system was even fully operational. Back in 2018, 150,000 records were leaked from the database. Still, that didn't deter other nations. Estonia was the next to launch its own system, followed by Singapore, Sweden, Belgium, Denmark, and the Netherlands. Then came Africa, with Nigeria leading the way. Once again, history repeated itself. Humanity returns to a system resembling church registries. Only now, the parishes expanded to the scale of entire countries. But the core issues remained. Each system operated independently, and promises of interoperability remained just that, promises. No state was eager to share its citizens' data, becoming instead a digital big brother. Full control over identity systems also enabled misuse. For example, the creation of fake identities. These were utilized by witness protection programs and intelligence agencies alike. Creating a new identity had never been easier. Now, all it takes is a few taps on a touchscreen.
A major breakthrough in the case of the Laughing Man. Surveillance footage analysis revealed that the unidentified individual, under the alias of IT Administrator Carl Webb, had visited the quantum computing lab at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT. What he did inside remains unknown. 2.5 hours later, he was caught on another surveillance camera, this time near a veterinary clinic just 400 meters from where his body was discovered. The surveillance system failed to identify him due to geometric camouflage on his face, a complex pattern designed to disrupt facial recognition. Upon searching the clinic, police discovered a printed edition of Gibson's poetry book, from which the note that gave the Laughing Man his nickname had been cut. Police have now detained Carl Webb for questioning in Boston. Unsurprisingly, he bears no resemblance to the man found dead on the beach. How many digital IDs is the Laughing Man hiding behind? We continue following this extraordinary case.
At the end of 2024, even the traditionally conservative UK government made a surprising move. Digital identity entered the most sacred of British institutions, pubs. A new bill authorised digital ID to be used as age verification when purchasing alcohol. However, the increasing centralisation of digital identity in the hands of governments naturally raises concerns among digital libertarians and crypto-anarchists. Some are developing services and tools to ensure anonymity, while others are working on alternative digital ID systems. In their vision, an ideal digital ID must be decentralized and tamper-proof, free from the control of both governments and megacorporations. We dare to assume that, as with cryptocurrency history, a breakthrough may come from a group of anonymous enthusiasts. Let them be remembered as the Cicadas 1861. Their framework draws from cryptocurrency design and cutting-edge biotechnology. From cryptocurrencies, it inherits blockchain-based data storage. New entries are added sequentially, cryptographically sealing previous ones from tampering. Information can easily be added, but not altered or removed. As with cryptocurrencies, the data isn't stored in one place. Thousands of copies will be globally accessible at all times. The second key idea is fragmentation of the identity profile into independent data blocks with separate identifiers. Your birth date is stored under one identifier, your bank account number under another, and your drone license under a third. This allows users to choose how much data to share. Ordering pizza? Share your crypto wallet. Applying for a pension? Share your birth date. Renting a car? Share your driver's license number. The block identifiers are unlinkable. Knowing one doesn't help uncover the others. The system includes exactly 23 independent data blocks, symbolizing the 23 pairs of human chromosomes. Genetic code becomes the key to accessing the system. Even the shortest 21st chromosome has over 48 million base pairs. The longest, 5 times more. Imagine your date of birth being protected by a 50 million character password. And best of all, it's random, ever-present, and useless without the full genome. All that remains is a compact DNA reader. Imagine Cicadas 1861 are free from financial or ethical constraints. Crypto boom profits fund DNA chip research in leading labs. Within a decade, they could achieve what Theranos couldn't. Create a device that fully sequences your genome from a drop of blood in minutes. Like ATM crypto modules, it won't transmit the raw code, but will produce a cryptographic hash, an encoded fingerprint used as the block identifier. This would make the entire digital ID system quantum resistant. In the near future, quantum computers will require huge server rooms, like early IBM mainframes, with special climate control, immense power, and EM shielding. Only governments and tech giants will afford them. But these machines can crack classical encryption in seconds. Yet, against the perfect digital ID system, even quantum computers are helpless. Fragmented records prevent brute force linking. Only the genome holder can reassemble their digital identity.
The laughing man from the beach, a man who never existed. A police source confirms genetic testing has hit a dead end. The subject's DNA contains fragments from at least 5 unrelated individuals. This is only possible through manual genome editing, which is illegal worldwide. Experts believe such intervention likely caused the man's death. Artificially modified genes provoke immune rejection. It can be suppressed temporarily with immunosuppressants, used in organ transplants or rare hybrid animals. But a single missed dose is fatal. Police now suspect the man was searching for these drugs in the veterinary clinic. But even knowing the cause of death brings us no closer to the core mystery of the 21st century. Who was this man? Why did he undergo such a dangerous genetic experiment? What was he doing at the quantum lab? Cracking a crypto wallet, unlocking a forgotten secret, or sending a message through quantum channels? Most likely, the case will remain a mystery, like D.B. Cooper or the Tamam Shud case.
A perfect digital identity system could give us more freedom in the virtual world than we've ever had in the physical one. For the first time, users will have full control over what data they share with third-party services. The age of forged documents, stolen passwords, and extorted keys may finally come to an end. Perhaps we assumed an overly optimistic forecast about the development of genetic technologies. But in fact, it is possible to create a prototype of such an ideal system right now. You just need to choose a biometric database with the necessary number of variable features. To a first approximation, even the pattern of the iris is suitable for this. Technology evolves as a constant battle between offense and defense. Once unbreakable enigma codes are now student exercises. Quantum computing threatens today's cryptography and forces us to develop new post-quantum algorithms. Digital identity will continue evolving as both spear and shield.